What's going on, guys? So today I'm just sharing this because I just opened this package in the mail and there was $10,000 in there, and luckily it didn't arrive like this, because if I opened the package and saw this, I'd probably have a little heart palpitation or something. No, this came it actually came in this box, okay, which says clearly play money. So this is prop money. I got this from Brandon. Thank you very much, Brandon. He, I'm sure, has seen old videos where I had some different prop money. This is definitely better, I have to say. This is way more realistic. I crumpled up one bill just to show it looking a little bit more realistic. Obviously, when they're nice and crispy like this, it might be a little bit of a red flag of it being fake, although maybe not. Of course, if you have a ton of money, maybe nice and crispy. But yeah, I mean, at first glance, you would never think it's fake. People don't automatically assume when they see money that the money's fake. And, you know, there's an evil little part of me that kind of wants to, like, throw these around in a parking lot or something. But I'm not going to, mostly because I think it would cause problems. I think that people get into fights over it. I think people get into accidents over it. I mean, if I was driving in a parking lot somewhere and I saw a $100 bill, I'd stop my car where it was. I'd jump out and go grab it, you know? So, yeah, I'm not going to do anything like that. Although it may be entertaining, I don't want anyone to get hurt over it. So, yeah, I mean, if you look at this first glance, it looks to be real. There's obviously a lot of indicators that show it's not real. I mean, you don't have to actually even see that there's no watermark through here, or that this is not a hologram, or this is not that special ink that's like green and gold. None of that really matters if you actually read it. You know, it says right here, motion picture copy money, or for motion picture copy money. It says right here underneath it, this is not legal. It is to be used for motion props. Over here says this is not legal tender. You know, the secretary is prop movie money. You know, there's a lot of things here. Motion picture use only. In copy bill we trust. You know. But, you know, we're not necessarily trained to examine or scrutinize money when we see it. If someone just saw this, they would think, wow, $100. And when it's a little wrinkled like this, it feels more real, but clearly it's not. Actually, let me grab a real $100 bill so we can kind of compare it real quick. All right, so here's a real $100 bill. Here's our funny money. All right, and looking at them again, first glance, it looks pretty darn close. But obviously there's a whole bunch of different things. The major thing, it really is the feel. Now, when it's wrinkled like this, it's not as bad. But obviously we know money is actually fabric. It's not really paper. There's a bunch of different things you could do to see if it's real money or not. The one thing I've always known with the newer bills, because people who I know who worked in retail, is to just rub Ben Franklin's shirt. This is actually ridged. Okay, so there's a texture there. Zoom in. You could see his shirt, once the camera focuses, all those ridges are actually raised. All right, so just a quick little feel like that, you could feel that they're raised, as opposed to obviously this fake one, which is printed and it's nice and smooth. All right, but obviously there's all different types of other things. As I mentioned before here, this has that special ink on it where it's gold and green. All right, obviously that's shiny, nice and bright. On the real one, we obviously have a hologram. Okay, this strip here, which is not easily faked. You can see that as I move up and down, that's moving left and right, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you guys even ever noticed that. I don't know how many people really just kind of look at money. But you can see the Liberty Bell and the numbers 100 kind of go back and forth. This is really neat. You know, there's a bunch of stuff. Like I said, there's a watermark here. There's absolutely nothing. Here, if you look in the light, you can see Ben Franklin's face. All right, so, I mean, you know, there's a bunch of videos, I'm sure, showing how to detect fake money. But again, at first glance, you wouldn't think anything of it, honestly. If you were, I wouldn't ever assume anyone should try to pay anything with fake money. But it's just fun. It's fun if you just want to play around with it. If you are, I mean, its actual purpose is if you're making a movie or something, or some kind of a short film or whatever, and you need money. Maybe you don't have $10,000 available to you to use for a scene, you know, so it's just one of those things. I do think it's really neat. I do think it's kind of fun. This was a total surprise. I had no idea this was even arriving. Like I said, luckily it came in this box, because if it was literally just a stack like this, you know, in an envelope or something, my initial impressions would be shock, like complete shock. Oh my God, someone sent me 10 grand. But that did not happen. Someone did send me some cool play money though, and I do appreciate that. So thank you very much, Brandon. I happen to think it's pretty neat. No practical purpose for it other than hiding it around my house so that if someone ever broke in, they would think they got a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? You could probably take like maybe 15 or 20 of these, roll them into a ball, put a rubber band on them, obviously rough them up like I did this one so it looks a little bit more real. Maybe crease a couple of them in the middle, things like that. Roll it into a ball, put a rubber band on it, and that is just a diversion, you know, for a thief. So if a thief comes in your house, you know, keep a rolled up ball in your underwear drawer, because they're gonna check, you know, all the common spots under your bed, you know, put a little stack of bills under your bed. And, you know, if they think they scored, maybe they just grab that and go. You know what I mean? Maybe they don't actually look through your real valuables. So I love having all kinds of diversions because I'm kind of a weird guy like that. You guys know I have a fake clock, and I'm hoping that if someone ever broke into my house, I mean, that's one of many examples, but I have a fake clock that's clearly a fake clock. And if you open it up, I have a bunch of rolled up 20s and stuff all in there. It looks like it's my stash, my life savings. So the idea is that a dummy, okay, a goober, breaks into my house, because that's the only person that would break into my house is a goober, a very simple-minded person, or a very desperate drug addict. That's always possible too. Could have been a nice person. But anyway, regardless, someone wants to break into my house. These are all different diversions that maybe takes their attention off of anything that may actually have value. So they go, wow, score. Clearly, I got everything. Let's get out of here. And then what do they really have? Nothing, a bunch of fake money. You know, as I mentioned before too, I have a safe in my house, and in my safe, I have a note for whoever ends up stealing it one day if they happen to steal it. So they're going to take all the time to steal that safe, and it's super heavy and it's really hard to get out. It's bolted to the floor. But if they do break it or break into it or steal it, it'd be even better if they actually stole it and got it into a vehicle and left. I just wish I could see their face on it. I should have maybe a camera in there going. But, you know, like I said, I'm very strange like that. I have doors in my house that have security locks, like very expensive digital security locks that lead to nothing. So these are all diversions. And the idea behind the whole thing is that, you know, anyone who would break in would be very confused by everything. They really would. They'd be really pissed off, to be honest. I mean, if I was a thief and I broke into my house and I know what's kind of set up here and there, I'd be kind of pissed off too, to be honest. Anyway, thank you very much, Brandon. I really do appreciate it. I do think this is really cool. And this should go without saying, but just in case you're watching this and you had that little weird thought of, maybe I can get this and trick someone, for a joke, sure. For real, trying to pretend this is money and spending it, that is absolutely one of the dumbest things you could possibly do, and it comes with great repercussions. So don't do that. But just felt the need to say that. I know maybe someone out there is watching and going, oh yeah, I can use this. No, you can't. You can't, and I definitely wouldn't try it. So anyway, that is it for now. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.